Good afternoon, class, and welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Araipo, and I had sent you several emails regarding the course, and I had asked you to explore the course. And all you had to do, just come to the homepage. Here's the homepage of the Canvas, and just follow the numbers. Number one, I'm welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here, everybody. And I wish you all best of luck. The second one is the class philosophy, course objectives, and the contact info. Let's quickly go over that actually.
Class philosophy. This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. Course objectives. The objectives of our statistics course are about the use of probability techniques, hypothesis testing, and predictive techniques to facilitate decision-making. Topics include descriptive statistics, probability and sampling distributions, statistical inference, correlation and linear regression, analysis of variance, chi-square and t-tests, and application of technology for statistical analysis, including the interpretation of the relevance of the statistical findings. Applications using data from disciplines including business, social sciences, psychology, life science, health science, and education. Instructors' contact information. Email me via Canvas or use the email address ariapmer@lac.edu, and I reply from Monday to Friday within 24 hours.
I'm going to go back to the homepage, everybody. And so the next one is the announcements, and I'm going to put this in student mode, student view. And if you click on the announcements right here or on the left navigation bar, find the announcements. These are the announcements that have been sent to you. There was an announcement about the recorded orientation. We have an old recorded orientation. I'm going to put the new one here also. Welcome on orientation, exemption to orientation. Then welcome to your virtual course. This was sent to you a couple of weeks ago. This was sent to you a week ago. This was sent to you a couple of days ago. All of this. So many of the stuff that you receive an email, you can find it under the announcements. The next one is number 4. So first I'm going to quickly see what's under number 4. Syllabus modules, which is about the practice test, PowerPoints, homework in My Openmat, known as MOM, practice test solution. Discussion forum, again, you can find it here or on the left navigation bar. Sample test, exams. Here's the office hours, okay, class, and the timing, okay, will be 9 to 10 a.m. in case there's any questions. Going back to the top, we're going to start with the syllabus just to make sure everybody's following that. So if you can leave the student view. If I click the syllabus here or here, couple of things we have is the syllabus, and the Excel calendar normally is within the syllabus, but I wanted to emphasize that. So I put it separately. In fact, I'm going to show you that one first. What I want you to see that we have a mandatory introduction assignment to My Openmat, which is due in a couple of days. And My Openmat, I'm going to refer to it as MOM from now on, short as MOM. And as you can see, every few weeks we have an exam. For example, the first exam takes place in week 3, which is September 16th, and then a few weeks later, the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Also, note all the exams are set up on Saturdays. There is no proctorio. I just have set it up so you take it while you're completely relaxed. Just make sure you give it enough time. That means maybe maximum by 8 p.m. to take the exam, because the exam takes a couple of hours or sometimes more. Now, here's the syllabus, and since they are getting larger and larger and more extensive, I put them in this format so you can go to the topic of interest. So I'm going to quickly look at each case. First, I have the name, time, the semester, the objectives, the text. You can find it here. It's by OpenStax. It's completely free, and I'll show you how to find it also in My Openmat. The online assignment is done through My Openmat, again, completely free. Here's the class calendar, again, starting with the name, the orientation, you're already here, and the exam dates, all of which takes place on Saturdays. The first one is in a few weeks, and for now, you really want to be concerned with that one, and then the rest of them, continue on, okay? And exam reviews are on Saturdays via Zoom prior to the exam. It's from 9 to 10, I should say. It's not 9 to 11. I may have to go to 11, but the bottom line is all those exam reviews, and I want you to pay attention to this. By the way, as I mentioned, there's no proctoring. Attending review session is highly recommended to succeed in the course. However, all exam reviews are recorded and posted under the recorded practice test lectures tab in a tab in Canvas. I will show you. I will be available during the designated exam review session to answer any questions. So I will be more than happy to answer any questions, but the exam reviews are already posted. All exams expire at 11:59 p.m. on their due date. You make the exam, you may take the exam anytime on that day, but no later than 8 or 9 p.m. to be on the safe side, because you need a few hours to finish them. Then we have the important dates. This is an online course, important dates, calculators. You may use a graphing calculator. TI is recommended. You can use a formula sheet, okay? We have tables for statistics. You can use them as well. Here's the tech support for My Openmat. Here's the distance education for Canvas support, and here's the campus tech support. So we have all types of tech supports. They can help you if there's any questions. PyShop, also known as MATLAB, if you will. It has a specific timing. If you go online, you can see all the information you need. As far as the grading is concerned, online homework is 200 points. I want to mention that's very easy to get, actually, the whole 200 points. Almost most students get that for a simple reason, because there is no limit as to how many times you take the homework, how long it takes you to finish. Participation, which consists of 5 discussion forums, 20 times 5 is 100 points. There are 4 exams, each one is 100 points. The final, although comprehensive, it is based on the previous exams, and 70% of it comes from the previous exams, 30% brand new stuff, 30% brand new stuff. 300 points, fairly simple, total 1,000 points. 90% means 900 and higher is an A. 80% means 800 and higher is B, so on and so forth. So this is probably the most important thing for the students. There is no makeup. Unless something comes up, you can let me know and show me documentation acceptable by the campus. However, exams are taking place on Saturdays, and you can take them anytime from the moment you receive the email. Remember, you will receive an email/announcement that has the information, including the passwords. So if you miss that, you can read your emails or go to the announcements. Now, the lowest grade before the final among the first 4 exams may be replaced by the final. If the final is good, that means 80% or higher. Your discussion board and your homework are both good, that means 90% or higher. Again, those two are easy to get to hit 100% mark. This action will result in a higher letter grade. That's it. Other than that, there are some assignments you may use a late pass, and it has a 10% deduction. I highly recommend you don't do that, because normally students who have to take the late pass, they don't do their work on time. They don't get ready for the exam. One of the things that I want to emphasize is called CSULB 36, and you can look up the website. In short, for a 16-week semester, you need 3 times the number of units. This is a 4-unit course. You need minimum of 12 hours per week, minimum of 12 hours per week to be successful. Dropping policy, I just follow the withdrawal policy from the college. But in general, if you miss the first assignment or any of the exams, I will drop the students. I expect you to start with My Openmat immediately. Now, I have more information for anyone who needs them here, such as OSS, financial aid. And this is important to me. Summary step to success. You study the PowerPoints, do your homework before the deadline, and there are some video lectures that are embedded in the homework. Of course, not every homework has it, but many homework questions have embedded videos, and even prior to that, there are some, including my PowerPoints and my videos in my YouTube channel. Now, study the practice test and their solutions, post question in the discussion forum, send your question via Canvas, attend the review session, or just watch the recording and take the exam by their due date. Here's the office hours, 9 to 10 on Saturdays. And again, you can find this on the homepage of Canvas also. They call it Netiquette for online learning, and I highly recommend you look at that. But the bottom line, the main idea is that whether you're in class or online, you want to keep a certain level of being professional and being courteous to others. So we just want to respect everybody. We want to make sure when we discuss something, when we email something, we are respectful of everybody. Of course, correct grammar, spelling, you're a college student, and positive tone and respect for everyone. All right, then we have the syllabus. Then there's really not much to it. You can look at it. Again, it goes over the course description, the number of units, and A, B, C, so on and so forth. The drop and repeat. There are some policies that have been added if you want to look at it. I don't want to waste your time, but as I mentioned, the syllabi are getting larger and larger, but you have access to it. It's there always. The next one is the modules, and under the modules, we can find a lot of stuff. So let me show you what comes. And again, you can click on this or on the left navigation bar. So if you click on that, the very first thing that you see is MOM. So what do? Normally, we can add it right here, but since there has been some problem with integration, you go to MOM, My Openmat, it will ask you for the course ID and enrollment fee. So you go to the website, you start setting up an account, and to get into this course, you need the course ID. And all you have to copy paste it there so you don't make a mistake. So that's the first. And this is where you do all your homework and exams. The only thing that we do in Canvas is the discussion forum. Everything else is there. Look at the next one. It says PowerPoint recordings. I want to show you this one. This is my YouTube channel. And this is a new one. First, I want to show you this one has everything in case you want to go look at it. We have the practice test, module 1 practice test, chapter 1, 2, 3, and it continues. And for now, you want to be concerned with module 1, which covers the first 3 chapters. Never mind the rest. They are similar in that sense. If you go back to this page and if you go down, these are lectures section by section. This is the playlist for sections 1.1, 1.2, so on and so forth. Okay. And so you can look at that. What is this one? This is a new recording that I'm doing this semester. Okay. And so this is just the latest one that was done in summer. It's actually done. So perhaps for the practice test, you want to look at the latest one. It's a little bit more updated. That's all. Other than that, very similar to the next one. And going back to the module. So again, the first one is MOM. The second one is the PowerPoints. You want to be concerned with the exam one module. So I'm going to go over exam one module in a moment, but I want to show you similar to exam one module, we have exam two module, exam three, exam four module, and then module five, which is part of the final. The final covers the first four and this one. What do you find at the end? At the end, there are some resources such as elementary statistic formulas. Okay, so we have the formulas there. Okay, and I've tried to separate them by exams. Okay, again, you don't, because the formulas, some of them are pretty complicated. You don't have to memorize them, although it helps if you memorize some of them to a certain degree. These are the tables. In statistics, we use a lot of tables, everybody. Okay, like the z-score, t-table, chi-squared, you name it. And again, the last one is the resources. There's one more resource, and that would be TI-83 calculator commands. What I have here, and I want you to pay attention to that. I have not only the commands here, I'm going to come back to this page. I have some of the commands for, I don't know, binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, you name it. I also have some online calculators, everybody. I want you to definitely explore those online calculators. And I will show you more of those online calculators in MOM or My Openmat, so that may make your life easy. Finally, the first page has this, if it works, and it doesn't work for everybody. If it happened to work, you can have this TI Calculator Emulator, but you have to download that. And believe me, sometimes it's not easy to make it work. You can even get help from the campus. So go try it, see if you can get that on your computer, and you can use it for free. Again, no guarantees, but at least you know it is available. Going back to the modules. So the first one is MOM. The second one, PowerPoints and YouTube channel. The last one is the resources. So let's go to exam one module. What do I start with? I start with the practice test, and I ended with the solution to the practice test. The first one is a PT or practice test. The last one is the solution. And then in between, we have the PowerPoint. So why do I start with the practice test? I want to show you. Okay, so this is the synopsis of what you need to know for the first exam. If you can either download it or print it. And what I would do, I would take 5 minutes to read all of these questions. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to read it. That's all I'm going to do. Why is that? Because I want to have an idea of what's the first module all about. And then all you have to do 1 to 2 questions per day. That's all it takes you. If you do that, comes the week of exam, you're ready to rock and roll. I promise you. 1 or 2 questions per day if you want to be successful in this course. Then, what do? These are the PowerPoints. Again, some students may just watch the videos, but let me show you. For example, here's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. If you click on chapter 1, here's the first one. And if you download this, you can put it in slide mode. So what happens is that you don't see the whole page. You see either line by line or paragraph by paragraph. And when you come across this example, for example, if you have downloaded it, if you put it in slide mode, you won't see the solution. You see the question. It gives you a chance to think about it. And then line by line, it answers the population, the sample, so on and so forth. So that's the first one. Then the second one and the third one. It happened to have only 3 sections, the first one. So going back to the modules, while you do those, maybe you can answer a couple of questions of the practice test, because that definitely helps you find the solutions. You do chapter 2, you do chapter 3. Look at the last one. What is the last one? It's the solution to the practice test. Well, so why is that the last one? Because I want you to do the work on your own and then consult the solution. Look at the way I have done it. I justify everything with formulas. You have formula sheet. Make sure you justify everything with formulas, and you use the equation editor to write them properly. Everything is done with details and when need be with formulas class. Okay. Now, first we are dealing with the definitions. There is not formulas involved, but when the formulas are necessary, I always use them. Going back to the modules, again, here's my Openmat. Here's the recordings. The last one is the resources, and you are concerned with exam 1 module only. I'm going to go back to the home page. Then we talk about the homework. I'm going to leave that actually at the end when I go over my Openmat. So practice this discussion forum. Again, you can click on it here or you can click on it here. Notice first, I have put student bios, and you can read mine as an example and put yours. Okay, put yours. So your fellow students get to know you. The only thing I want to mention is that you are more than welcome to comment and talk to one another. Please make sure you have positive comments. Make sure you have utmost respect for everybody. So please definitely have a write a comment with respect for your fellow students so you get to know each other. The other one is FAQ. Please, before you ask any questions, read this. How to use a math editor. Do I need a course ID? Normally we didn't, but now we do. It tells you where to find it and so on and so forth. The last one, because this comes up, and honestly, I'm surprised because the question is where to find the exam passport. Every exam has a passport. It will be sent to you in the form of an email and announcement the week before. If you miss that, all you have to do, go under the announcement. And for example, for now, just look for exam 1. When the time comes, you won't see it there yet, but it's coming up. Okay. What I want to show you, again, just in case, you won't see it in student mode, but it is coming up. When the time comes, this has the information. And again, it's not available yet. It becomes available when the time comes, beginning of the week. The next one, going back to the discussion, the next one is the one that you are going to receive 20 points. There are 5 of those, and I want you to pay attention to this. So this is module 1. So let's
DB, Module 1 Practice Test Number 1 Topics. Post your math questions from Chapters 1, 2 and 3. You are required to post, at least, one question and its solution either from Practice Test Number 1 posted under the modules, or any source of your choice, per grading policy in the syllabus. You must read all the posts and make sure not to duplicate any questions. Similar questions are acceptable. Read all the posts, questions and solutions posted by others first, and pick a different question to post. No duplication is allowed. A question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points for the post. 10 points. Write the question number and copy down the question. Show all steps using the math equation editor or embed an image solution as explained below. Find a similar problem online, or on YouTube or Khan Academy and post the link. 5 points. Comment on, explain, at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it and outline a few steps you learned as a result. A compliment is nice but is not a comment. 5 points. Example of a student post, made up example.
So as you can see, you have to post a question, you have to write the question from A to Z, 10 points, must be different. Then, of course, the question, the solution with proper formulas. And then find a similar question on YouTube and post it for everybody. And of course, you want to comment or explain somebody's work, whether it's their work or YouTube. And just saying, thank you, I learned a lot is not good enough. What have you learned? Here's an example. I made up a question, okay, about the mean, median, and mode. I went over it not only with details, look at the formulas. And then I found a similar question on YouTube, I put it here. And then I'm commenting on somebody, supposedly, John Doe's YouTube, and I'm explaining something that I learned. It has to be so good that others can see what the student has done, and maybe they're interested to pay more attention to their post. Then, of course, I have this video, how to embed an image into a canvas, because they have to see your work. If it's a PDF file that they have to download, it is not acceptable, okay? And of course, I'm saying how to use a math editor. So if you go back to the discussion forum, we have one, two, three, four, five of them, since there are 5 modules. And the question must pertain to that module. For example, if it's for module 1 and you put it in module 4, it's not acceptable. Going back to the home page, the next one, it says practice test. So it says optional, the sample test solutions. If you look at the left navigation bar, this one is in case of Canvas not working, you want to make a note of it. So this is the website. You can find the same stuff, like, for example, if you say prepare for the first test, that means we have the PowerPoints, we have the practice test, solution to practice test, our video lecture, so on and so forth. So again, why do I have this? The main reason is if for some reason Canvas is down, you want to make a note of this. That's the only reason. Everything is there. And the exams, of course, again, you take it in MOM. And here's the office hours. What I want to do now, assuming we have registered for MOM or My Openmat, we can go to the course. Here, it's called MOM, My Openmat. And the very first assignment I want to show you. First, because I don't want anybody to miss that, this is due in a couple of days, everybody. And I suggest you do it immediately. So take a look at what happens here. Basically, the purpose of that is to get you familiar with My Openmat. It's got nothing to do with this course. So for example, right now it says put this number 12.4073. Okay, I put that. The next one says put the same number rounded to the nearest hundredth. So it's 12.4. Next to 4 is 0, and 0 is of interest. Now, either remains at 0 or goes up, depends on the number next to it. 7 makes 0 go up to 1. We are rounding. That's one of the problem that I've noticed students have here. They don't round it accordingly. So pay attention. If I want to round it to the nearest 100, that means 0 next to 0 is 7, goes up to 1. Can I divide by 0? No. It's undefined. They don't have the word undefined. They have DNE or does not exist. If I submit the question, You see the check mark, I'm done, I have it done right. And I go to the next question. And by the way, if I make a mistake, I just get a similar question. Just for the sake of argument, we want to change this to a decimal. Let's make it something wrong, 0.4. And if I submit the question, it says it's wrong. Okay, so just you can always get a similar question and do that. Now, what I want to mention is that, okay, I'm doing my homework, something comes up and I can say done. What happens is that it registers my grade for what I've done, and the rest of them are unattempted. Before the due date, I can come and resume and finish the work to get my full credit, or I can exit. For now, I'm going to exit, but I hope you realize what I'm saying. You can get 100% on your homework. You can go anytime and do that. The next one, you don't have to worry about it now, but when the time comes to take the exam, under the exams, right at the top after the mandatory assignment, it's exam 1, and you can't start it because it has a password. It will be sent to you. Then we have the course description, as we have discussed before, and all the content are in the course module. And we have the calendar. First of all, as far as this number 4, you can change it to any number you want, and that's the number of weeks. What I want everybody to notice, the first assignment is coming up soon. Anybody missing that, that means they are not willing to stay in the class. Number 1. Number 2, here's the exam, and right the day before the exam, all homework is due. Anybody who waits till then will not make it. What do I mean by that? Every day you do one, or every other day you do one of those sections. By the time we come here, a few days before the exam, you really should have nothing to do except study for the exam. So your homework should be done. Anybody who waits until this time will not make it. Now, one might say, okay, why did you do it that way? Because in the past, sometimes students ask, okay, I'm working, I can't do the homework until I get to the weekend, and I didn't want to have to reactivate it for just a few students. So I'm giving everybody a chance to do it until that day. Please, please don't wait until that day. You will not make it because it will be overwhelming. Then we have module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are concerned with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is module 0? Take a look. It's called resources. So I'm going to quickly tell you what you can find. First and foremost, if you click here or here, it doesn't matter. This is the course with the same sections that you can find it in MOM or in Canvas. It's based on this text. The difference is this text is not in the same order. The order is slightly different. But what is the advantage of that? It's very easy to navigate, but please understand they're ultimately the same. This is the same. This is a book which we have the right sections, okay, class, based on this book, okay? Some students, they just follow my PowerPoints. They don't need that. It's your choice. So that's the first thing. So based on this. Then how to use a late pass calendar, grade book, all of them is explained here as we go down. Instructors resources, we have the tables, PDF formula sheets. You've seen some of them in MOM as well. Multimedia library. And notice free online calculators. If you have a calculator of your own, you're comfortable with it, stick with it. If you couldn't get that emulator that I showed you, this one, online, then please explore all of this. They are all good calculators, online calculators for statistics. Get used to at least one of them, get comfortable with one of them, okay? Maybe you want to explore them for a few minutes to master, but these are all calculators, all calculators. Then we have instructor resources, okay? And we have more videos. Okay. Now, the next one, what is a p-value calculator? When we come across that, when we do the test of hypothesis, p-value becomes clear to everybody. And again, you can go strictly to these calculators to calculate the p-values. Again, all of these resources. for free. More online calculators. Desmos is a calculator, can do a lot of things online. Not only you can access it here, you can also watch the videos to learn about them, okay? What else do we have? External websites like online stat calculator, daily schedule calculators, so on and so forth. And I put a lot of resources for you here. Some of them you don't need, but please explore all of them, see if any of them works for you. OpenStax app for devices, link for the textbook. So basically, what is Module 0? Module 0, you can find resources, text, and online calculators, and more and more and more resources and websites. Now, again, module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to look at just module 1 because the rest of them repeat. When you start with a module, such as module 1, then it gives you, let me just close this up. Okay. Then it gives you the chapters of interest. Let's open up the first chapter. Then you have 1.1. It says, first watch these videos. In some instances, I've had students in the back, and please report any broken. They would just watch these videos. Not even the PowerPoints that we have, not even the recorded lectures. They would watch this. These are my videos. They would just watch this one in red. And these are my videos. These are recommended videos by others. And they would start the homework and it would work for them. That's fine. You can do it. If I go to 1.2, so take a look. I want to show you. You see, this is section 1.1. Then it repeats. When you go to 1.2, again, it says watch this in red. Again, some students may not even go look at the PowerPoints or the text or anything, just those. They may not even look at my videos or the recommended videos. They just watch those, okay, class? And then they go to the homework. Again, when you do the homework, it's just like I showed you, class. When you go to the homework, you answer it. In a study, the data you collect is the number of people unemployed. It's quantitative versus qualitative. And you submit the question. And if it was wrong, you would get a similar question. Notice, this homework also has videos. If I were you, if I have any doubts, I would watch one or two of them, both of them. Then the next one has a video. This one has videos. So, but this one doesn't. So the point is some of the questions also have videos. So videos embedded in homework. And you can easily answer it. Again, I've done the work, and for some reason, I don't want to do the next one. Something came up. I'm going to click on done, meaning immediately, you don't have to submit anything. This one is correct, and I got my point, and it is registered, and it's going to assume you're going to come back. The grade that you get here, if you never come back to finish it, that will be registered for this homework 1.2. Otherwise, when you resume it, even if you do only 2 more, then it adds. 5 more, it adds. If you do all of them, it's much better. So I can either resume or exit. And that's it. So let me quickly recap everything for everybody. Here's the homepage of Canvas. The first one was a welcome message. The next one is a class philosophy, course objective, and my information. Then there are announcements. You can click on them here or here. And again, if you ever miss any email, especially exam passport, you can go to the announcements. Then we went over the syllabus, modules, and the office hours. Under the modules, at the very bottom, you have resources such as formulas, tables, information about TI Calculator. At the very top is where you start with My Openmat. The next one is my recordings. You are concerned with the first module only for now. When you master that, then you know exactly what to do with the rest of it. First is a practice test. Last is the solution to that. In between, we have the chapters, PowerPoints. So that's Canvas. As far as mom is concerned, first you do this introductory assignment to mom, then you realize the exams can be found here. Here's the course description. Please don't pay attention to this due date, rather do your homework on a daily basis. Every day you do 1 or 2 sections. Module 0 is nothing but resources, calculators, text, formulas, you name it. And you start with module 1. You start with 1.1. I highly recommend you watch these videos. Okay, class? You watch these videos and then start your homework. And as soon as you do a few of this, you'll be in good shape. You know exactly what to do. Happy studying. I wish everybody best of luck.